Hello guys, we are excited to have you here. The team in SDT Byte Hackers working hard on this channel and we are eager to hear what you think. We will come up with more hacks in Jmeter and new performance tool in upcoming future. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out any hacks video once it released. Today we are going to speak about a most common challenge faced in performance tester in real life project. In real life project, all the microservices APIs are locked with proper authentication due to security reasons. So let's go ahead to our second hacks, that is how to dynamically call an auth token in Jmeter test script. So here is the problem statement. How to dynamically call an auth token in Jmeter test script. Before jumping to the solution, we will discuss a small story. Let's suppose you are in a war and you are run out of your bullet before war is completed. So what you want to do? Either you need to escape the war or you need to have automatic bullet strip connected to the gun to continue to fight in the war. Right? We will apply the same solution to solve this problem. If you look into this problem, there are two threads in this particular problem. First one is happy path. You have designed your Jmeter script in such a way that in first step you are collecting the auth token from the auth token API and passing that valid token to endpoint API or target API to get a valid response. In this particular solution, the token expiry time is more than the execution time. Let's discuss the second thread, that is unhappy path. Suppose the token expiry time is less than the execution time window. In this case, once token expires, the target API will start failing with unauthorized error. So your test is unsuccessful. So we'll see here how could you get the token dynamically once the valid token got expired in middle of the execution. We will discuss step-by-step approach to solve this problem. Here is the step-by-step approach. So what should be our approach? First, we will use a regular expression to extract that token once we receive that valid token for the first time, right? Then we will design to store that particular token in a variable and pass dynamically to the endpoint API, right? Then we can run the test and validate is it helpful to get a valid token once the token expires. Let's see and understand the API details first. Then we'll see how to design the test plan in Jmeter to achieve this problem solution. Discuss the API structure here. I have a demo collection and I have demo auth token and I have to take this token to create a order and I need to show one order. So my target API here is the show order details. Okay. So this is my order ID. Okay. So before accessing this particular endpoint, right, I need to provide a authorization token to access this endpoint. So let's suppose before generating a new token, I am using the existing token and hit enter. So if you see, this is returned with 404 because my particular order details is not the specified resource does not exist. Okay, my order details are not found here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one order. Then I will take the order ID and pass that particular order ID to show the order details. So in this particular create order, I will hit this endpoint. This particular order is created because I have already provided a token here, right? Valid token. So my token is ready and this is validated and it is helped me to create my order details. So what I will do is I will take this order ID and pass to my show order details. So once I pass, see, are you able to see right now? It returned 200k and I am able to see my order details properly. Okay. This is the problem statement and these are the API we will try to automate it. In this particular case, the auth token will expire in every 20 minutes. I want to run this particular show order details for a load test of 1 hour. So I have to design in such a way that the show order details will always get a valid auth token once the previous auth token got expired. Okay, let's move to the Jmeter to design it in such a way that we can achieve the solution for this problem. We are super excited. Let's move to Jmeter. Let's begin the session by creating a new test plan. Right? Here is our new test plan. Okay, we'll rename the test plan to a proper name as per the requirement. Naming format should be application name underscore type of load test. Okay, if you follow proper naming convention, it will help you to identify your transaction, right? And it's a better way to follow a standard naming convention. Application name and type of load test you can provide. This is the naming convention. Let's suppose I need to replace this naming convention format into a proper name. My application name is XYZ view order. Okay, I am going to do a load test in this particular application. Okay, the second step, I'm going to analyze this API, right? Let's move to the Postman. If you see in Postman, everything is going to in this route, right? That is my gateway URL, right? So if you see create order, this going in same, show order, it's going on same path. Okay, so what I can do, this is the common path. So what I can do is I will click on add here and I will write gateway URL. Okay, let me copy this particular URL. Okay, I will define one more variable that is called test duration. How long my this load test will run, right? So I will define a new variable here, global variable duration. So I will provide, I'm planning to run for 1 hour, so I will provide 3600 seconds. Okay, make sure you selected this option, run tear down thread group after shutdown of main threads. The second step, we are going to add a HTTP cookie manager. Okay, so let me right click on the test plan, choose add option, then go to config element. Okay, you can see HTTP cookie manager. Okay, let's provide HTTP cookie manager added into your test plan. So this option you need to select clear cookies on each iteration, right? So it will help us to clear your cookies for each iteration. So there is a question in your mind, right? What is the need to add a cookie manager here? The cookie manager element has two functions. First, it stores and sends cookies just like a web browser. If you have an HTTP request and the response contains a cookie, the cookie manager automatically stores that cookie and will use it for all future requests to that particular website. Each Jmeter thread has its own cookie storage area. So, if you are testing a website that uses a cookies for storing session information, each Jmeter thread will have its own session. The second one is you can manually add a cookie to the cookie manager. However, if you do this, the cookies will be shared by all Jmeter threads. If you want to know more about each component, what we are going to add in test plan, right? You can visit the official website of Jmeter, click on the first link, then move down. You will see a component reference link. You click it, then you need to find what sampler you are looking for, right? What sampler, or you are using any kind of logic controller or listener, right? Or any configuration element, right? You can able to see. So we have added a HTTP cookie manager, right? The configuration element. So if you click, you can get details of this particular HTTP cookies, what exactly it is doing. This reference is very good. I will highly recommend you to visit this reference in Jmeter site. Now we need to add HTTP cache manager, right? So same thing, we will repeat the steps. Right click on your test plan, click on add, go to config element, and you will find HTTP cache manager, right? It is for caching, right? So clear cache in each iteration. The maximum number is 5000. That is the standards. Okay. If you want to know what exactly this HTTP cache manager do, so follow the same step to go to Jmeter reference and you can read it. Okay. Now we are going to add a thread group, right, in our test plan. So right click on test plan, click on add. We have a thread users. You can select thread group. So we have added a thread group here. Normally we will provide the thread group name, right? So what is the naming convention we are following? Our naming convention should be functional name underscore functionality name, right? So let's replace with naming convention to a proper name. So our functional name is order management, right? Order management underscore functionality name is view order. View order is our functionality name, and functional name is order management. Order management is the functions, and functionality name is view order. Okay. Here we need to understand few important details about thread group. So thread group elements are the beginning point of any test plan. All controllers and samplers must be under a thread group. Other elements, example listener, may be placed directly under the test plan. in which case they will apply to all the thread groups. As the name implies, the thread group element controls the number of threads Jmeter will use to execute your test. The controls for a thread group allows you to set the number of threads, set the ramp up period, set the number of times to execute the test, right? So what we can do is we have set by default as a number of thread is 1, ramp up period is 1, right? And we want to specify the thread lifetime. If you have remembered, we have declared a global variable called test duration, right? We need to use the variable now. So I want to run this particular test for the test duration mentioned in the test plan. So I have mentioned 3600 as a 1 hour, right? So I need to provide that variable here. So I hope everyone knows what is the usage of variable. So once you have changed the value of variable, it reflects everywhere wherever this variable is used, right? Good. So we are good and we are successfully to add the thread group. Now we need to see our API design. So first what we need to do, we need to hit the auth token, and that auth token will be hit very beginning, and we need to generate the token from it. So what we need to do is we need to add once only controller here. Okay, I will explain why you are going to use once only controller here. Okay, so let's add it. Go to thread group, right click on the thread group, click add, go to logic controller. Okay, if you see here we have once only controller. Okay, we have added here. We'll give the name of the once only controller. Okay, let's suppose it is get auth token. Okay, so here we need to understand why we have used once only controller. That question will be in your mind, right? So let's understand what the functionality behind once only controller. The once only logic controller tells Jmeter to process the controller inside it only once per thread and pass over any request under it during further iteration through the test plan. The once only controller will now execute always during the first iteration of any looping parent controller. Thus, if the once only controller is placed under a loop controller specified to loop for 5 times, then the once only controller will execute only on the first iteration through the loop controller. Okay, so if you are looping for 5 times, it will run for the first time only. Okay, if you still need some more information about once only controller, I will highly recommend you to visit the Jmeter site. Okay, get more details about it. The next step, we will design the HTTP request for auth token. Okay, what we can do is right click on the once only controller, go to add, and simpler go to HTTP request. Okay, we will provide the name of the request here. So what we are trying to achieve, we are trying to achieve to send the auth request, right? So I will provide auth underscore request. Okay, so let's go to Postman. So this is the auth token, right? Let's define the protocol first. Protocol is HTTPS. Then the server name and IP address, that is nothing but the gateway URL, right? This is your gateway URL. Okay, let's move to Jmeter. Okay, if you see here in the test plan, we have already stored this gateway URL. We will going to use that variable here. So while accessing any variable in Jmeter, it should be preceded with dollar signs. Alright, what is your variable name? Variable name is gateway URL. Okay, we have provided the gateway URL. What kind of HTTP request it is? It is a post request. Okay, we need to select post here. Okay. What is the endpoint of your auth token? So this is my endpoint of my auth token. Okay, class v1, come to here, provide the endpoint of your auth token. So let's see what else it is required. If you come to Postman, right? If you come to Postman and see, there is a header section for your auth token, and we need to provide a body section with grant type as a client credential. So we'll add this. Okay, so let me copy this grant type, go to Jmeter, add it here. Okay, this is my parameter, right? Grant type. What is the value of grant type? It is client credential. Okay, we are good, so we'll save it, this particular sessions. Let's suppose this is hack2 hack2.js. Okay, we have stored it, auth request. So you guys, if you have observed in Postman, this particular token request, right, required some of the headers. We need to add the headers here. So what we need to do is we need to add a HTTP header manager. Let's go ahead and add this HTTP header manager. Right click, go to add, go to config element. Okay, HTTP header manager. Okay, if you see here, go to Postman and see what are the headers we need to add it. One is content type, another is the authorization, right? Other things are by default headers, so we no need to much care about it. So we will go and add it here, right? So I will highly recommend you, whenever you are preparing this header details for your particular application, make sure you provide all the header here. Okay, it is content type, not sure why not able to write it, let me find out. Okay, now we are good to go. So what do we need to write? Content type, right? Content hyphen type. What is the value for it, right? Just we need to go over it. Content type value is this one. Copy this one, paste into the value section. Good. Now what we need to do? We need a authorization, right? So let's copy authorization here. Authorization, Control C. Go to Jmeter. Already we have added one more line. Click authorization, and what is your basic auth. Okay. Copy. Go to Jmeter. Provide your details. Okay. We have provided HTTP header manager. Now, good. So if you remember, when we started in the presentation, right, we have discussed about step-by-step approach. What we need to do once you get your auth token, we need to write a JSON extractor to extract this token and need to store into a variable. Right? Let's do that part. Click on auth request, right click, go to add, go to preprocessor. Okay, I think it is post processor, and we need to select JSON extractor here. Okay, so we'll provide a valid name here, JSON extractor. So what is extracting? Extract token value. Okay, and the token value, where you want to apply this particular JSON extractor logic, you want to apply in the main sample only. So name of created variable, let's suppose my variable name is token, and JSON path expression. Now we need to write a JSON path expression to find out the token value. I will move to Postman again to show you a demo. Once you hit token URL, right, this is your token details. And if you see, this is your access token and this is your value of the token. Okay, what you need to do is you need to write a JSON path expression to fetch this token value. Okay, let me write. So what I do is dollar dot the value name, right, field value name is access token, as we see in the response, access token. Okay, so wherever this access token node is there, pull out the value for that and put into this variable. We are good. We will save it. What should be our next step? We have already created a auth request and we have written a header manager, what is required for auth request, and we extract the token from the auth response. Now the second step is we need to verify particular access token node is present in the auth response or not. So to verify that, we will use a response assertion. Okay, let's edit. Right click on this auth request, go to add, go to assertion, click on response assertion. Okay, what we will provide a valid name here. I think it's not editable. Let me check. Sorry guys, sometimes my system is getting hang, so we can edit it here. Go to text check, underscore, or we can write like this, access token, right, ACCE access token. Okay, where we are testing apply to main simple only, that's correct. Text response, that's true. What this text response pattern matching rule, what pattern you want to change? Contains, right, this response should contain a access token node, right? So what it need to test, we need to find this node, ACCESS access token, right? If you have this node, you fetch the value of this token, access token value, and pass to my variable what we created as a token. Make sense, team? Any questions? Okay, this is very important part, how to dynamically fetch the token from the auth request. Let's move to the second part, that is our target API. Okay, let's move to the next step. What we need to do, we need to implement the target API, right, that is transaction controller. So let's add a transaction controller. Go to thread group. Okay, you have completed auth part, so you go to thread group, go to logic controller. Okay, go to transaction controller. Okay, any doubt? Because I'm going very slow, so that you catch up the things properly and try to implement it your own without any hassles. Okay, what is the naming convention for transaction controller? Normally we follow functionality name, right, underscore tr. Tr is the transaction name. Then tr is the naming convention. It's so as tr. Okay. Let's move the transaction name followed by transaction name. Transaction name. Okay. This is the naming convention we will follow. So we will delete and provide our particular transaction controller name very meaningfully. What is our order management underscore tr underscore view order. Okay, looks good. Transaction controller looks good. So there is one thing you need to do, generate a parent simple. Okay, this checkbox you need to enable it. Okay, the next step is we have added a transaction controller. We need to add a HTTP request to design the target API. Okay, let's move to design it. Add a HTTP request now. Right click on the order management TR window. Okay, order management. Go to add section. Go to sampler. Go to HTTP request. Okay, looks good. So we'll provide HTTP request name properly. Okay, that is the functionality name. Okay, so we'll provide the functionality name here, that is order management underscore tr underscore view order. Okay, let's move to the target API. So we'll move our postman. So if you go here and show order details, right? So it is the HTTPS request. Let's choose HTTPS here, protocol. Okay, this is your gateway URL. So we have underscore. Okay, it is dollar square bracket, provide the name. So we have already defined the name here. So let's copy the name, gateway URL variable name, paste it. Looks good, right? What kind of method it is? Go to postman. It is a get method. Let's CTB get. That's good. What is your endpoint? This is your endpoint, right? Okay, let's keep your endpoint ready. Okay, anything else this particular request taken? I don't think so. We don't have any body and we have normal token details. Okay, so it will also take a authorization token, right? So we need to provide a authorization token to this target API. So we'll add HTTP header manager here. Okay, right click, go to add, go to config element. Okay, HTTP header manager. Okay, that's good. So what is the headers? Basically the same header we will use, content type, right? What is there in our postman, right? Let's go to postman, copy this. That is the value application source JSON. Okay, looks good. Move to the second one, the authorization. Team, it is very important for us to understand this part. So how you can provide a authorization here? So authorization token should be preceded with bearer token. It is bearer token. Okay, space the token. So I will write token. Okay, hope you got it right. This is the token variable which is holding the auth token right now, right? What we have received in the auth token. If you revisit, you are extracting this token variable right? Access underscore token node variable, that is the token, is stored in the token variable. So that's the reason you have mentioned bearer and token. So it is a variable. Okay, good. Let's move and see any other things this particular target API is taking in the postman. I think we are good. Nothing else. Authorization we provided, headers we provided, body we have provided. Good to go. Okay, we have designed the auth API, we have designed the target API. You want to think like how to achieve TPS here, right? TPS for transaction per second. You want might require this particular load test to be run in 10 TPS or a 1 TPS or 40 TPS based on your NFI. So we'll see how to achieve the TPS in this particular structure test plan. Okay, so we'll use a timer called constant throughput timer. Okay, let me go right click. Okay, go to add section, go to timer. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of timer available in Jmeter. So we are today going to use constant throughput timer. Okay, if you see here, this is the constant throughput timer, name of the timer. Target throughput in samples per minute, like how many samples you need to targeting to achieve in 1 minute, right? So your TPS is transaction per second, but you need to provide the value here per minute. Okay, let's suppose I'm trying to achieve 1 TPS. Okay, so 1 TPS means 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So I will write 60, right, samples to be achieved per minute, so that I will achieve 1 TPS. Okay, so it's very clear that we have designed and finished to prepare our test plan. Okay, we have achieved auth token, we have achieved our target API. Let's add few listener here. Okay, right click, go to add, go to listener, view results tree, then go here, go to add, go to listener, summary report, go to add, go to listener, add aggregator. Okay, we have added all our required listener here to verify it. Let's go and test how is it working. Okay, let's run the test. So our auth request is successful and our order management is successful. That's really great, right? Because the execution is very slow because I'm running 1 TPS, right, 1 transaction per second. Okay guys, that's really great. Let me stop the test. I think test is already stopped, so let me check why it is got stopped. You see I have used loop count as 1. What happened, even if I provide my duration here, right, I have override that execution as loop count as 1, so that you can able to see here view results tree. My target repeat request is only run for 1 time. So what mistake I have done, I have to select infinite, then only it will take my duration into second. Okay, let's rerun the test one more time. Go to view results tree. See, test is running successfully. Thanks for subscribing to our channel. We hope you enjoy this video and would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. We are always on the lookout for feedback that can help us to improve our content. Stay tuned for more videos like this every week by liking and following us on social media. Thank you guys. See you in next hack. Stay tuned.